Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives, was a return back to form. It's a bit more of a comedy. It's got some pretty iconic scenes, some kills. There's no nudity in this one. There is that crazy sex scene, and there's a bit more action, like the big RV stunt. And yeah, as said, there's more comedy in this one. There was two Jasons, and CJ Graham, he took over. So the original Jason scene is seen in the film, like the paintball scene. You'll notice how Jason goes from having a little bit of a gut to a bit more slim and fit. Well, the slim and fit guy was CJ Graham, and the other guy, he just, he did well for the scenes he was in, but he just couldn't really take the pressure of, the role. So CJ, he was a champ, and he is one of the best Jasons. He's got one of the best looks. There's the Jason, like his look under the mask is really, really cool. Like, it's seen for a short time, but the scene where he's got the fence spike, and how he wakes up in the coffin, then he rises. It's an ode to Frankenstein, basically, and then he's splashed with the gas, and then it rains. He takes care of Haas, and then he gets his mask back, and then it's that awesome James Bond-like opening. Then the same old credit titles. Then Jason's doing a lot of walking in this one. And he's walking very fast during the day. It's got an awesome soundtrack by Alice Cooper. He did two songs, Teenage Frankenstein and The Man Behind the Mask, which featured Jason in the music video. So, yeah, shot rock and slasher. Of course, Ozzy Osbourne and Motorhead did Hellraiser, so I think it was Ozzy's song that made it for Hellraiser 3. But, this is weird because there's Jason from Part 6. That's Part 5 title, and there's Part 6. So they've got the wrong Jason at the wrong film, and then they've just got these three are really cool. This is like the comedy aspect. These are really good. The paintball scene is one of my favorites. So yeah, like heavy metal, shock rock, it works well with horror. And, well, there's a lot of history with it, especially with Jason and Freddy, because Slipknot is on the Freddy vs. Jason soundtrack. And that's going to be a fun entry to talk about too. But yeah, Jason Lives. It's the fan favorite. It's one of my favorites. How it was like put together, thanks to like the cast is great. They're fun characters. They're interesting. It's a little, very, very tiny Scooby-Doo-ish. Like it's back to form. Where we're at Camp Crystal Lake, we have kids. Like they were seen in the original, and then this is the first time in ages there's kids at the camp. At camp, we were all told about the boogeyman and all that, so here's kids. They do an incredible, awesome job. They're in a horror film. They're working with the best slasher legend. Look, Michael is great, but his franchise went down. Jason's just went up. This is like the peak of Paramount Mountain, and then it sort of went down with 7. It's alright, and then it got 8 and 9 and X, and then big explosion with Freddy vs. Jason. It's like, yeah, But yeah, part 6, the music, the stunts, the action, the makeup, the just how CJ Graham owns it as Jason. Then really good final girl. Of course, you got Tom Matthews as Tommy Jarvis. Just this icon of horror. And well, Sheriff Garris is a great character. He's got some really good scenes. You know, the lines, wherever the red dot goes, you bang. And when Megan's like, he can't come to the phone, he's in the can draining his lizard. You know, then he says, oh, when Tommy runs in, Garris is like, are you in show business, kid? You sure know how to make an entrance. And then, like, everything. It's just, and some of the kills, like the RV, the face crush, and Cork's date for the night. She was originally going to be Tina in part 5. She didn't get, and she's the aerobicized girl, and then she got this role. Yeah. Because she, the director wanted a lady who was a bit more, so it went to Deborah Voorhees, and plus, because of her last name. But, yeah, she auditioned for Tina, but her video was in part 4, and then she got a cameo in 6, so worked out great for her. So, yeah, 6, just great fun, and, well, there will be new blood. Scare you later.